Hello everybody and welcome to the Halophotos Ground 3 presentation. In this light box, light comes from the bottom and reflecting the pyramidal structure, the light is completely diffused around the box. This is very useful because the jewels inside lose their shadow. So if we move a camera around them, as you can see from the preview, you will see that the ring is like it's moving, floating in the air, just because there is no reference to shadows. With the software remote control, we rotate 90 degrees. In the live preview, you will see that the jewel is standing up while it's actually laying down, laying on the floor. So we can rotate it and see it's like standing up. Once we find the position we much more like, we get the picture from PC or from the camera, and the picture is sent automatically to the active window. We can move this frame over the desert image part, and with one single click we white background it. And from the numbers that are below here, you will notice there is red, green and blue 252, 252, 253. That means that this cursor here has not a complete white background. So we go to equalize it and we get the histogram of this image, and we will notice there is a peak here on the right side. With this cursor here that normally would go to burn the image, we position at the beginning of the noise. You will see that we get the absolute white without touching the image. With this cursor here we can correct the overall camera correction of the image, the contrasts, and apply it. Here it is. Recrop now. Okay, so we have a high resolution picture for the 8 megapixel of this camera, and we have a complete white background now. If we go here we will see it's everywhere, it's 255, and most important thing, this is a 1:1 actual size picture. That means if we are going to print this on paper, it will be printed at the actual size. This is very important because this is one of the most difficult things to get with digital cameras, just because the camera does not know how far is the subject, and there is the zoom factor too. So we did this just selecting the mask, the frame, rings max, that we defined as 3 cm width and 4 cm 8. That was the frame that we got at the beginning of the acquisition. So we can choose to save this this image on file, for instance. All common graphic files are supported. We can even choose to save this selection as a new model. In this case, the newly taken shot is proposed in this window here with the used mask 3 cm, 4 cm. We may provide a model code, a barcode if we want, a description in all the language we may like, and mail, title, weight, carats, and prices, size, and family groups, subgroups, commercial data, as we can see from this sample here for your jewel. We can browse through records by code, for instance. If I type OR, okay, I want this, here come our watch. We can even browse through records by image, for instance. All those pictures are taken with our system, and what's nice to see is that, for instance, this bracelet here would collapse, could not stay on feet, just because it will collapse. So with this system we position it on the floor and it's automatically rotated by the software. We can type here AN, for instance. Okay, as you can see from the pearls, how is interesting, because we have the point of light, that's the flash from the camera, and the pearl itself, it's completely taken. As for instance this ring here, where the stones are completely surrounded from white light, have a great brightness. And why we are going to do this? Just because we want to make people able to print catalogs directly from the software. We go to catalog, we go to print wizard. Okay, we select the page setting. Now we are taking the page setting made for Rings Max, that Rings we have been using before, this one. We may provide the model from, model to, one or more detail. We are going to set up filters, family groups, subgroups, and print sorting, and as well as language we want to print to. We go next, and here is the result of the selection that's obviously made of rings, as we can see from the pictures. We can put them all on the print area on the right side by clicking on this push button, but we could also put them one by one. We can sort one picture up or down if we want. We can save the selection to open it in a later time. For instance, if we make a selection for a customer, we can reopen it in a later time. We are going to print now, and the result is an A4 page with all the jewels we selected on the page. Now we take this on the wall page. Here it is. This is a modular catalog. That means that the same shape, the same frame is repeated on the page as many times as the item to be printed occurs. And we have another kind of catalogs that we call auto-sizable. That means that we select it, okay, and this is here not only rings are selected, but even bracelets, for instance, and bags and watches, different shapes. We put them all on the print area, and we are going to print them. This can be very useful for making sets as well as carnets and offers to your customers as well, because we are going to print in one single page different shapes, always keeping the 1:1 extra size. Now it's going to complete this. Okay, here it is. So you will see different shapes on the same page. I'm going to select the whole page. Okay, see, different shapes on the whole page. We can choose to print this on paper, of course. We can choose to save this as a PDF file in order to send it by email, or put it in a CD by email directly, and or export it in common HTML file to publish on the internet. Excel if we want. RTF, it's a Word document file, common graphic files, and CSV and the open documents, that's for the OpenOffice suite. So we have been seeing right now, it's a dynamic catalog anyway. So we put new items to be printed, they are automatically printed on the page, but we can work on the result by clicking on edit page, and we are going to add, as we can see here, changes. So we can move labels, we can move pictures, we can add new labels and write them whatever we want. Okay, so from dynamic catalog we go to static catalog, as we can see. Okay, this is the changes. So we have to save this to file to open it in a time.